So I post a couple videos. My friend Sean helped share my channel on his channel, and a lot of people subscribe, which is again awesome. And then one of my first comments I got was on the Impressive Blues lesson, and the question was about suspension chords. Now I told you if you ask the questions, I will answer them, but I'm going to try and answer them on this universal lesson, universal platform, so you can understand what's going on. So the question was, and you can see in the comments, is this about suspended chords or suspension chords? Now, suspended chords and suspension chords are kind of an odd creature of sorts. So let's just talk about the fundamental of a major chord really quickly. A major chord is built on this chassis, which is known as a major chord chassis, also known as a 1, 3, and 5. And to make a long story short, if I had a C major scale, and again, you just need the following concept. We can always learn all this stuff, but we have a C major scale, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. If you want to see it, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10. Those are the notes I'm playing. The first note, 1, 3, and 5, makes up the C major chord. If I were to play all those notes at the same time, which you can't right now on the scale, but if you play them all at the same time, you get a C chord. Alright, so we have this major chassis of the first note, third note, and fifth note of a major scale. So let's talk about suspensions. Now, what a suspension is when we're going to take out the 3. Alright, so instead of 1, 3, 5, we're going to have 1 and then a 5 in the chord, and we're going to substitute suspend, that is what we call it, the notes that surround the 3. So on one side of the 3, you have a 4, and the other side of the 3, you have a 2. That's why you see all the time, if you like Led Zeppelin, you're going to see D sus 4 or D sus 2, which means a suspension can be adding the 4th note of the major scale instead of the 3rd note, or D sus 2 adding the 2nd note, second note of the major scale. So actually, I lied to you. I'm going to do this in D. I just changed it all up, okay? So it's okay, because if you have the D major scale on 10th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, same principles apply, which is it's the 1st, 3rd, and 5th note, D major, okay? And a D suspended 4 means we're going to play 1, 4, and 5, not 1, 3, and 5, not the D major chord. So let's talk about this. In this chord right here, and I'm going to get all up in your face. This is 3D and smack you in the face, but not really. All right. So I have these notes here. And now this right here is my root note. That's a D. And here is the 5. This is the A. Okay. And again, if you don't know this, don't sweat it. Just follow my lead. And this guy right here is the major third. Okay. That's your major third. That's what gives the sound of a nice spring day. Okay. So let's talk about the D sus 4 because it's easy to see. What happens is, if any of you guys have ever played Zeppelin or Tom Petty, you're going to see this motion where the pinky comes down on the G chord, on the D chord, and it comes down to this note, which is a G, which happens to be the 4th note of the D major scale. There we go. My brain kicking the gear. So a D sus 4 is when you take out the 3rd note. Now notice I'm not taking it out. I'm just covering it with the 4. So this is a D sus 4. But here's the catch with sus chords. They always want to resolve back to the major. So if I had a song like this, there's some tension there, okay? That 4, the suspended 4, is a little bit of springtime tension, but you want to come home to that spring day in the field by coming home to the D major. Okay? A suspended 2nd chord, or sus 2, is when we add the 2nd note of the major scale instead of the 3rd, which is the open E string in the case of the D. So it's going to be, let's see, 2, 3, 0. And then, so this is back home. So your suspended chords are built on this chassis of 1, 2, and 5, D sus 2, or 1, 4, and 5. Now there's more to this video, I just want to explain what's going on. But really, they like to come home back to the major chord. Now in case of the Grateful Dead or stuff, sometimes, I'll show you a suspended chord. You can, it's so hard to see this. You can take a major chord, and you can take that pinky, boop, and lay it down. And you can get that springtime sound like this, Now, there's something else happening here. I don't want to get too thick to it, but that note right here, that's the 3rd, and as you can see, the sus 4, just laying my pinky down, just laying it down, right on the next fret from where my middle finger is. So instead of the note 7, the fret 7, 9, 9, 8, it's 7, 9, 9, 9. So that's just a quick video on suspension chords. Now the thing is it's hard. You don't really write a song with all suspensions, because suspensions are kind of like the happy, crazy people who they sound good, but they need to be put in a home. All right, so and that home is the major chord. So if you're interested in suspensions or how to use them, if you're writing a song and here's a C, okay, I have to see my hand. Here's a C suspended, C sus4 is adding your pinky here. Now I'm not going to show you all the suspension chords, because now you can go and Google, suspended fourth chord chart, and you can see all the suspended fourths. But how to use them is more important, which is you play them and you bring them home to the one. Tom Petty. D sus4s and D sus2s everywhere. The D sus is always the most important. Not the most, it's most used. D sus or suspended chords there are. I hope that helped clarify some things. You might already know this, and I apologize if you do, but if you're gonna write a song and you want to get a little bit of springtime movement, as I call it, as it feels, you can add a suspension and you can come back home to the major chord. I hope that helped. Be honest, thumbs down is cool, but thumbs down with a comment is better, so I can help, straighten things out. Thumbs up are great. So is chocolate.